You asked for it, folks, and you got it. The playoff football series is here. 1, Alabama, 2, Oregon, 3, Florida State, and 4, the Ohio State. Your thoughts on the committee's selections? Did they get it right?
You know what, Ty? I think that they did get it right. The only thing that I have a problem with is how did they get there? It seems that the playoff committee had a hard time between Baylor, TCU, Ohio State, Florida State, Mississippi State, Ole Miss at one point in time. But it seemed that they took a couple of detours to finally get there, but they finally got the Final Four right. And they sent a couple of messages to the Big 12 Conference of not having a conference championship and not having a true champion within that conference too as well.
Absolutely, and I think they got it right as well. Greg, keep in mind, this is a subjective ranking. I mean, if it was the BCS series, you're looking at 3 and 4. Imagine how that would have been. So at least one way or another, these teams get to play it out. I mean, how can you ignore Ohio State? I mean, look at what they did. You lose their one bad loss, Virginia Tech, early in the year. After losing your Heisman candidate, Braxton Miller, and then JT Barrett steps up and he explodes. Then you lose him and you go into a championship game against Wisconsin with your third-string quarterback and win. So, the 4th spot is the one that's in contention here, and I think they nailed it.
You know what? That state in between Indiana and Pennsylvania did a number on my hometown state, man. 59-0. It's the first time that a conference championship team has ever been shut out in a championship conference game.
Squadoosh.
And I got relentless emails from Mr. Shed's block that's behind me over here, and also from Dominic Lee Jones in Columbus, Ohio. And I have a message for him. Let me tell you from the deep down bottom of my heart, I can't stand the whole state of Ohio. I despise it. I don't like Cleveland. I don't like Cincinnati. I don't like Columbus, and I could care less about them. I hope LeBron leave in 2 years. That's how much spite I have in my body right now. That's how I feel right now, Ty.
To speak on Ohio State's behalf again, let's talk about who they don't like. Melvin Gordon, remember him?
Yeah.
We talked about him when he set the record with 408 rushing yards against Nebraska, just to be broken a week later. They held him, a Heisman candidate, one of the final 3, to 76 yards rushing. This is a good team in Wisconsin. They've been around for 21 years, 19 bowl games in 21 years, and 6 Rose Bowls. I mean, for them to do what they did, it really jumps into the front. I mean, let's cut to the chase. Who do you have in your top 4, Marvin?
You know what? I have to agree with the committee. I think my top 4 would definitely stay the same. One thing that I like about the committee that's a little bit different is that you actually got football coaches and ADs and people that actually watch the sport and they're making judgment decisions and things of that nature. With Barry Alvarez, Tom Osborne, Condoleezza Rice, Jeff Long, people in there that's making decisions. And I like to see that, even though Florida State is number 3 and they are undefeated, but they're the 3rd best team behind Oregon and Alabama, which I think is the correct decision moving forward because Florida State has struggled. But your Final Four, who would you have in your football Final Four, though?
Immediately after Ohio State put that shellacking on the Badgers, I tweeted out the exact same ranking at the exact same spots. The only thing that could have happened is, after Florida State's latest win, they could have moved out of the top 4 because it seems like all they do is win and go further back. Can we make a quick case for TCU and Baylor? I mean, these teams need to, kind of put some strength on the back end of their schedule if they're expecting to kind of move into, the Final Four.
Well, the back half of the Big 12 was so top heavy. You got some of those bottom feeder teams that that Baylor and TCU was looking at. So in that instance, I can understand why the committee was like, Ohio State has a better resume and better record.